Well, the weather sure has changed in the last 2 weeks. We've got 42, 45 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. We've had, what is it right now? It's 39 degrees Fahrenheit today. So that's about plus, I don't know what that is, plus 4 or 5 Celsius, 3. It's melted. There's about 4 inches of ice on the driveway here. It's all melted. We had rain coming down like cats and dogs on Saturday, and Sunday was a beautiful sunny day. A bit cooler, but still beautiful. So I've got some video from 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. I think it was February 15th or 16th, 15th, I think. And after that, I've got a bit of shop stuff. I was working on some parts on my milling machine, and there's my plow. I think this is the longest stretch that I haven't used it. It's been sitting there. It's sunk in the ice a little bit. It's crooked right now. Haven't used it in... it was on my truck a week ago Friday, and that's the last time I think it was on. I think I took it off the following Monday or Tuesday because it might have snowed, but we didn't get any snow. So watch the upcoming video, and that's some plowing I did. It was a smaller storm. And actually, you know what? I didn't know how much snow we had that storm, but it seemed like about 25 centimeters, about 10, 11 inches. So let me know what you think. And right after that, I've got some work I'm doing on my milling machine. If you're not interested in that, you can just watch something else. Thanks for watching. look on Facebook last night. I don't spend much time on Facebook, but one thing I kept seeing over and over again was people criticizing snow removal guys. But you know, of all the people in the country, no one is expected to work 20 hours or more straight without a break or without stopping. But snow removal guys are, and that's okay. But if they don't do their job right, we'll criticize them. So, you know, I always say, just give a thumbs up or a wave or buy a coffee for a guy doing snow once in a while. You know, if he wasn't out there, you wouldn't make it to work or the grocery store, or you wouldn't get out of your driveway. Parking lot to do. And, there's nobody parked in here. We'll find it. Need some bulb. Go! 9 feet wide. car there. Right on. Right on. No car. I was worried that you
Well, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and don't be shy to give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. And some of the comments you leave are really helpful. So I've got a link to Amazon for some things to put on my plow. And yeah. Thank you for watching. Right behind me. I don't know why they didn't park those two vehicles right beside each other. They don't think of plowing snow. Certainly not. I'm supposed to get 5 more centimeters today. Everybody I know, it's like, oh, poor you had to work so many hours. Oh, look at the bright side, it's going to be +8 on the weekend. I said, no, everybody thinks +8 is good for snowmobile guys. It's not. Every bit of snow in this place, Sunday night, there's the difference between that +8 period, back down to -2 at night, there's the ice. So it's not a good thing. I'd rather it stay to -20. There's a little tract about 6 out of 8 bolts on the harness on that broke on Monday morning. But we managed to get it back together and temporarily fixed. Still gotta go change the last 2 bolts and get a break. So I think there was an alpha. Change some of the other 4 bolts. 4 out of 6 are back in. I'm going to change a couple of those other ones to grade 8 bolts. Big bolts are 5/8 diameter. Still broke. That thing has plowed probably 2,000 hours of snow. It's got a lot of hours on it. It cuts grass in the summer. Winter time, it's just snow. I see some videos of that machine cutting grass and stuff. Okay, we'll go on to the next parking lot now. Well, we got a big mess going today. These were all being thrown out. Some of these are 1.25 inches, some are about 1 inch. I haven't measured this one, it's a bit smaller. And there's this one here, that's probably 3/4 or 7/8 or something. Anyway, there's a whole bag and full of them. Like at least 30 pounds of them. And I know these are quite expensive. These are about $10 each or so. So I just throw them in my bin full of bolts. And anyway, what I'm working on today is I've gone and it's still hot. I've gone and I've cut a groove in this piece of angle right here, and I welded a 4-inch bolt. I had about a 4-inch bolt. I cut a piece off, make it the right length, and here's my plan. I got this dial off my milling machine. My son and I were trying to get this threaded. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to unlock the dial and adjust it back to 0 if you want to 0 the dial. So and it's seized on there so badly. I've got pipe wrench marks all over it, but I don't, if I damage it, I damage it, so be it. It's got to work. Either it's got to work or it's no good to me. So unfortunately, I want to do as little damage as possible. Unfortunately, I've damaged the knurl there, but I'm hoping I can do some sort of repair on it. So here's my plan. I had a nut and some washers, and I'm kind of making a fixture. I think you call this a fixture. I make stuff like this all the time to deal with problems like this. It's not uncommon. So I got a 9/16, it's a 3/8 bolt, 9/16 wrench here. I tighten it on. There's a groove on this side. There we go, if I can get it in the camera. And that groove, this piece of angle goes right through that groove, and it's holding it pretty good there. And it's the only place I think I can hold it. I could hold it here in the vise, but I'm afraid I'd destroy the dial itself. I don't want to wreck the dial too badly. So by holding it on that groove right there, I'm going to heat this with a torch, top and bottom, get a pipe wrench on it and see if I can get it to turn. Oh, we got a problem here. It's touching right there. So I'll mark it, and I'll grind away some of that metal. See, I think the nut, and that's touching that piece of angle. So I only want this center piece. See this piece right here? That goes right through the center, and it's threaded underneath this nut, and then the very end of it you see right here. So I'm hoping I can get that off. I'll update you as I move along here. Okay, I ground away some of that metal. So as you can see, the little groove here goes right through, and it's kind of grabbing on there. See, it kind of grabs it a little bit. I'm hoping with heat, and I've got room for that to loosen a little bit. I just got to get it started turning. There. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to heat it up with the torch and try with the pipe wrench. I need both hands for that. I'll bring you back if I can get it to move. Well, it worked. So I didn't have the right size pipe wrench, but the channel locks. So I'll let that cool off, and I'll pull that off there. And it seems to be smoking like crazy. I don't know where I'd be without heat, without torches. I wouldn't be able to do very much. Without heat, I would have never got that off. But trusty old torch. Oxyacetylene can do amazing things. There's just not much way to grip that. It's just a knurled, little tiny little. Even the pipe wrench I had was too big. It was too wide. It wouldn't fit between these two spots, and the next one down was too small. It wouldn't open big enough. So I'm really happy that's done. There. Okay, that worked and it's off now. But the next challenge is getting this out of here. And I'm pretty sure that's seized in there pretty good too. I guess I could heat this with the torch, but I think it's got chrome on it. I don't really want to burn the chrome off. So we'll see. Try a few things. I do have a small press. I don't have a big press, but I do have this little tiny small press, and I think that would work. But I'm going to try it on here first. I'll just put it on there and try and hammer that out. So there we go. That's probably been on there, seized on there for a long time. I don't know why they weren't using those dials. I don't know the history of that milling machine, but it's off now. Look at that rust in there. So we'll get that freed. It's still, if I put that back in there, it'd be seized right on. So I'm gonna wire brush that, wire brush the threads, put a little grease on there, and clean up the inside of this hole. And then that's should be the way it's supposed to work, nice and free. You should be able to loosen the knurled nut and adjust the dial wherever you want, 0 or Okay. Oh. Okay, so my camera's falling apart here. Okay. I got this polished up pretty good. Yeah. But it's sticking a little bit. It's not running as smooth as it could. And you can see there's a bit of rust left in there. So I went and found this. I knew I bought this a while ago. It's a Forney sanding kit. You got coarse, medium, and fine little drum. It's a little mini drum sander. It goes on my die grinder. So I'm going to set that up. I think that's the fine right there. And I'm going to just go right to the fine paper and go over that. That should clean it up. Okay, so that dial is fixed. Now there's there's four. There's 4 dials on that mill. So you got the 2 cross slide dials, one at each end, and then you've got the knee up and down for the knee, and then you've got the third dial, the 4th dial in front there, and they're all numbered. You've got 1 to it starts at 0, goes to 190, goes to 200. So there's 200 increments. And if you're milling something and you just want to go in 20 thousandths of an inch or so, or it doesn't matter what number, you can always, if this is not seized, you can always unscrew this with your fingers, turn the dial to 0. So always, you can always 0 your dial and start from there. It probably had a DRO, that mill. I can't tell. I don't know what the history is, but if it had a DRO, these dials are kind of useless. But if you don't have a DRO, you need the dials. So you put it to 0, and then you turn it in to whatever distance you want to go in. So I'm missing the dial for the knee, the up and down for the knee. I do have, I'm missing this knurled nut, which I think I can make. And I'm missing the dial. But I believe I have this piece. I'm pretty sure I have this. So I think I can make a dial. I'm going to try. But it'll be last thing on my list. I got a lot of stuff to restore on that old mill. I'm really glad this is working now. I think the damage I did to here was because I didn't heat it. I tried turning it without heating it. I should have just went right to the heat, but yeah, it's a machine. So got a little more polishing and sanding to do. I can barely see the numbers in some spots. It was sitting out. It was underneath the roof, but it was sitting out in the weather, and the damp air when it rained was getting to the mill. And the guy, I don't know why he didn't oil it, but he didn't. If he'd oiled the whole thing, it wouldn't have rusted probably. But there we go. It's turning like it should now, just smooth as butter. A little bit of grease there. This may not have been seized before he put it outside, but it was seized when I got it. So there we go. I bought this little mini drum sander a while ago, maybe a year ago or more. Probably more than a year ago. I forgot I had it. And that was a compressor you heard run. It's only about 8 feet away, so that's something I got to live with when you're using air tools. So that's handy. This little cheap Power Fist. I think I paid $20 for this or so. It's got a nice chuck. It's all Chinese, but it works. You can put this in a die grinder. I think I might do that. I might put it in a die grinder and leave it in there. But for now, it's going back in the drawer. These are handy little kits. If you got to get in and polish something small hole, that's 3/4 of an inch, so the best thing for that. So my little fixture worked pretty good. It's pretty simple. I'll just cut this off now and that'll go in the scrap bin. But sometimes you gotta make something like that to get the job done. But I'm lucky to have all this stuff. I had the piece of angle laying around, I had the bolts laying around, and I had I have the MIG, and I have, I used the new bandsaw I bought to cut this little groove. So now I'll just cut it right off. That'll go back on the steel rack, and next week I'll clean up this workbench. I gotta sort all these bolts. I got a pile of stuff to do. It's already lunchtime, and I don't feel like I've got anything done yet today, but all kinds of little jobs. I was just snooping around and I found this piece of aluminum. This was being thrown out too. And that would make a nice dial. I could machine that down, same size. I think it's the right thickness here. I haven't measured with a caliper yet, but it looks by eye, it looks like it's fine. So that'll be something in the future. I won't be doing that anytime soon. It'll be probably the last thing I do. That's an option. I know these dials you can find them on eBay for like 60, 80 bucks. So with shipping and everything, it's going to cost me like $120 for this little dial. So if I can make one myself, that would be a lot better. And what I could do, I could probably put this dial right up against it. And I've seen guys do this on YouTube, where they use a cutter on the lathe. See, if I had machined this down to the same size, and it would be flush like that, and then you just use a cutter, line up your mark, and then just cut your little groove all the way around. So that would be your marks. That'd be kind of cool. There's ways to do it. I've got what do you call it? Rotary table. So I could mount these two together in a rotary table and put them on the lathe, maybe. I don't know. Maybe in the chuck. Put a threaded rod through or something. And tighten these two down. Anyway, it's thoughts. Lots of ideas going on in my head. I got 2 lathes now, so I got all kinds of ideas. But it's just to manage the time. Do it on a rainy day or a day when it's minus 35 out. That seems to be working. It's polishing up a lot better than by hand. I just stuck it in a bolt underneath here. I just stuck a bolt right up into the chuck. And it spins on there, but I don't put too much pressure, and it seems to be working all right. 320 paper. My 700 and my 1500 paper is at my home. Should have brought some of that down. Anyway, I can do this at home. Put it on the drill press at home. It'd be nice to be able to see the numbers. That's a lot better. Where the 190 was, you could barely see the number right there. You could barely see that, make out that 190. So now it's really coming out. Yeah, so I'll do that on the drill press at home. With the two, I got 700 and I've got 1500 paper at home. This is 320, so it's working. Hopefully I'm not going through the chrome. If there is chrome on there, I hope I'm not going through it. Anyway, I gotta be able to read the numbers. So. Alright, so there's a little short update what I'm doing in the shop. My snow plowing videos seem to be a lot more popular than the drill chuck. And I just removed an arbor out of our drill truck and got a few views, but I'll just keep making these videos. This is what I like to do. Plowing snow is what I do to get paid. This is what I do for fun. Thanks for watching.